Michelle, today we can report that there's a relative calm in Siaya and largely the areas that have witnessed running battles for a couple of days, of course, with the NASA supporters standing their ground that as per the directives or directions from their leaders, there would be no elections. But despite that relative calm, you can see behind me some roads. We still have that they've been blocked, so clearly you can have them. And as you can see, although nothing much happening, we've not seen bonfires so far, but at least there's normalcy, and perhaps it's just a matter of time, if anything, that we've been able to gather for the past few days. But I'll be throwing that question to Township Ward MCA. If Mheshimiwa, you could just tell us, there's now a new directive that tomorrow we must have fresh elections, and yesterday there was a total paralysis in this particular constituency of Valego, Usonga, I'm sure even in your ward. Do we expect a change of heart? Are you people going to allow the election to take place now that a new day has been given tomorrow?
No, I'm Central Lego MCA, he's the town MCA. But what I want to say, Raila's words are low. Nobody will be out for elections. Whether in life or death, we will ensure that nobody votes. Number one, the voting day of 26 October, which was the birthday for Uhuru Kenyatta, reminds us what had happened on the same date when they were opening Russia Hospital. We were massacred. We were not prepared for it, and will not be prepared for it. And we know that elections, even though Luo region are the ones who have been producing a reform-minded bloc, we've not been benefiting from general elections. Presidency has not been helping us. And unless and until Raila shall have told us that there is a level playing ground, we will not participate. Over our dead body, we will not participate.
Yes. But you understand that the government says, IBC says at least they need to move. Will you then allow at least the body to transport materials, at least even from the constituency headquarters to polling stations, because that was the problem?
Over our dead body, we know that we need to have agents. We've told our brothers, in fact, one of the POs ought to have been my blood sister. We've told them to keep off. We've told them to keep off because after having exercised, after having responded to the exercise, Kenya will go wherever they want to. We'll be left alone. Nobody will be out to protect us. We've been seeing them out to even kill one of the Supreme Court judges, the Wako, Philomena. So if our whole Supreme Court judge is vulnerable to those attacks, what about we plebeians? What about we commoners? So we do want a situation whereby the government wants to make the Luo people vulnerable. It is known all over that even the US Embassy, the European Union embassies had agreed with even our president that whoever wants to vote be given time to vote. Those who do not want be given time not to vote. Luo regions had chosen not to vote. Why are they forcing the exercise to be done in our political domain? The geopolitics of this region is in contradistinction to their thoughts. We want to tell the world that we are outside that exercise. Let Uhuru be declared by his own central province people and the Ruto people that he had a birthday exercise. Let it be known that Uhuru's presidency will be for the people of Mumbi and the people of Rift Valley. No less, no more.
That is Central Lego MCA. I'll talk to Township Ward MCA, maybe briefly. Is that the same position in your jurisdiction?
Yes, what I want to tell Kenyans is that the Constitution says very well that it's our right to vote or not to vote. We as the Siaya people have decided not to vote. And we are telling the Jubilee government there is no need for forcing us to vote with the police. We are saying tomorrow, even if they come, we are not going to vote. And we are going to do this one in the old courses. Tomorrow, we are going to make sure that we have a prayer meeting at a Hindi garden for those who have lost their life during this demonstration. And therefore, tomorrow there is no voting at all.
So we get your positions clear. There will be no voting. Nobody will participate. But the question we are asking, will you now then allow roads to freely flow, at least the material to be moved from constituencies to polling centers?
We are saying that that will only happen of our dead body. And that's why we are now in town to make sure that we make sure that there's no material that is going to be transported to the polling station. And we are appealing to our people, even those who are having vehicles, never to try to take their vehicles to transport the materials to the polling station.
Well, Michelle, of course, those are two leaders. I would call them grassroots leaders, Township Ward, MCA, and the Central Lego. They are stating categorically that it's over their dead body. They are saying Raila's words is law, and until and when he makes that communication, nothing will be happening. But some of the other leaders that we've engaged, there are some MPs that they have hinted they could be having a media briefing later in the day, perhaps to reinforce or to give a similar position. Then we do understand that County Siaya Governor Cornel Rasanga could be also having a briefing later in the day. His whereabouts still remain unclear, but we do understand he's trying to make arrangements whether he will invite the media from wherever he is, then make that particular communication. But as it stands, nothing changes. This particular place, as I've said, they've clearly said there will be no election, and I've heard them say that it's their right not to vote, and nobody should coerce them or twist them to the ballot box. So that particularly paints a picture what we expect tomorrow, or maybe from afternoon, when the movement of materials will be expected. And maybe before I hand it back to you, Michelle, last evening we talked to County Returning Officer Ruth Kulundu, who was in her office. First of all, she denied allegations that the governor had actually locked down to ensure that materials don't move. She said everything is under IEBC. The breakdown that occurred was the fact that transporters who had agreed to move materials from one place to the other did not show up, did not pick calls. Then secondly, the presiding officers, their deputies, and the clerks who had been hired from the community declined in a technical manner. They've resigned, and therefore it will be difficult. So her position is that unless something happens, which they said they'll be engaging stakeholders to have the clerks and presiding officers change their mind and participate in the process, then your guess is as good as mine. Tomorrow, even if the materials reach the polling stations, nothing much could be happening. So that is the position, and of course the MCAs have clearly spelled out